Hey everyone, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in to Relevant Jukebox, and today we're going to talk about the newest album from Fontaines D.C, A Hero's Death. So this is the sophomore full-length album from the Irish post-punk band, and I did enjoy their debut Doggerel quite a bit actually. It was met with a lot of critical acclaim and also was nominated for a Mercury Prize, which is pretty impressive for a band's debut. I can't really say they have the most refreshing sound for the post-punk genre, honestly, but I do really enjoy their vocalist quite a bit. I think he's got a really great sounding voice for post-punk, but also he's got the ability to write a really catchy melody. So going into a new album, I actually wasn't really expecting much, which is kind of odd, but I guess I was just hoping that the follow-up would be a little more rowdy, but also maintain that really fun atmosphere that they create. But starting off this record, it's pretty clear that you're in for much more of a moody affair. They cast out an extremely gray landscape with the opening cut, I Don't Belong, with some really tired sounding guitars. I mean, it's not exactly an explosive start like how they kicked off Doggerel, and it does do a pretty good job at setting a very bleak atmosphere, but overall, I mean, the song is just way too repetitive and kind of feels like it drags on far too long, actually, without really much in the way of a progression. I did enjoy the second track, though, Love Is the Main Thing. There's some really thunderous drum hits on this track that sound really cool overall, I think, and also it's a pretty strange beat for a post-punk track. And I will say, overall, I mean, the drums sound really good on this whole record, actually. They just stick out the most on this cut. But, going through this record, it does feel extremely one-dimensional until you get to the track You Said, which is a much-needed cool-down moment on the album. It's a pretty boring instrumental overall, though, honestly. It just sounds a little repetitive once again, and the guitars just don't really sound inspired by anything. The vocalist really carries this cut, in my opinion, like he does on most of this album here, and he has this knack for making his singing sound very depressed, but catchy at the same time. I mean, it's pretty interesting, and I think this track is the best example of that. And I mean, the last highlight on the record, I think, was the title track, actually. It's another sort of catchy and uplifting sounding spot on the record, and I do like the added vocal harmonies in the background. But I mean, at this point, I mean, it's pretty obvious that the band is really sticking in their comfort zone of some kind of like driving, pulsating beat, really tired guitar chords, and not much in the way of progression along the track's length, really. I mean, it's pretty disappointing overall. I mean, there's just so much potential in this band, in my opinion. I mean, again, the vocalist, very, very talented, very captivating, always singing something really catchy, but, the tracks and the instrumentals underneath just are kind of weak. And this time around, they did weave in more slow burn ballads into the mix, but none of them are actually that memorable, unfortunately, even though it does make the album a little more dynamic. It's kind of odd that the record ends with two of those right in a row. I mean, it really misses the whole impact, in my opinion. So, there's a lot of aspects of this record that I do enjoy. I guess I did kind of leave it hoping that they would experiment a little more at the sound palettes, because a lot of what you hear on this record does stick into that lane of what post-punk always kind of sounded like. Sounds very true to that. I think they could have used a lot of like jazzy embellishments, maybe some saxophones. I think that would have been really cool. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I just still prefer the debut to this one. And with that being said, I'm feeling a 6 over here on A Hero's Death. So I'm gonna have links down below for you guys to Rough Trade. They do have this on a limited stormy blue colored vinyl. There's also standard black, and there's a cassette as well. So if you guys are interested, I suggest grabbing one of those before they sell out. And if you did listen to A Hero's Death, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and share. And if you want more content from me, hit that subscribe button. Peace.